Please say your name, introduce yourself, tell them where they're from.
What's happening, man? I'm YG Looney Rule. I'm from Pomona 45 Bigs. Definitely want this page. All right.
Hey. So today the topic is we're going to speak on selective politicking and the messiness behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Um, basically, you know what I'm saying? This is something that a lot of right. So all right, it's a difference in between, and I want to this message, you know what I'm saying, for the younger youth as well, right? So the thing is you got smutting, right? And then you got facts, right? So you got smutting, facts, and you got allegations. So, we like to speak Ebonics. So to me, from my knowledge, right, allegations is smut. All right. Basically what it is, you know what I'm saying? So the point that I'm making with this is it shouldn't be any such thing of smut or allegations. It should be politicking is when, right, you got solid evidence of something, right, that's presented and it needs to be corrected based on what's presented. You see what I'm saying? So like in rap songs and shit like that, you'll hear the little homies like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I punched on blood because of the allegations that he had. Like that to me, that's not homie shit. Like you want to be able to really analyze the situation before you smut a homie. You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be no such thing as allegations. Like and it's imperative, right? That certain people, like, it's a delicate situation. So a lot of cats, they don't know the difference between messy shit and politics. So when niggas get together, boom, it'll be a gang of niggas together, and a niggas be like, oh, I heard this, blood, I heard that, I heard this, I heard that. Right then and there, right? I'm done with the situation because it's nothing presented. You know what I'm saying? This is where the smut and this is where the allegations come into play at. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing solid there. So that means somebody's gonna get hurt behind a rumor. That means somebody's gonna get hurt behind an allegation. You know what I'm saying? Or smut. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is everybody deserves a fair trial. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so if you in a turf and you might have a homie that don't necessarily like you, right? So this is the person that's overseeing this particular issue, right? All right then and there, right? It might not go in your favor. You know what I'm saying? Um, what a lot of niggas have in the turf is a lot of favoritism, right?
Yeah.
Um, so you got homies that grow up in the section, right? And you got homies that come to the section. So a person that grows up in the section, right? He might have like a lot more leeway when it comes to his opinion, right? Which is okay. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, to me, it don't matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be favoritism when it comes to a certain situation. If you gonna say for this for him, this shit should go the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this right here, it's an important topic. You know what I'm saying? I remember a couple years ago, I had went through a certain situation, and what had happened was they had more expectations, I believe, out of my co-defendant. You see? And um, so basically, what it was I had homie smut me before the shit, before everything actually had got out. So I'm in the pen, right? And I got, you know what I'm saying, homie smut me, right? And I'm able to get out and defend my character because I'm in the pen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the pen. My co-defendant, he get out before me, right? He in the turf saying whatever it is he's saying. I can't even defend my character. So by the time I get out, my name is already smutty. You see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
had to I had to go to the hood, right? Get shit validated, bounce out, do all that extra shit. But then by that time, you might have certain homies that got they got a bad taste in their mouth about you based on what's already being presented ahead of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with me, um, I've always told myself like I would never do that shit to a homie. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for you to believe your homies got love for you after they smut you before they actually handle the situation properly. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, I went through shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's real important. So I had a homegirl, which we don't really see eye to eye. Her name was Precious Rue. Like she presented something to the table for me. My big homie, Big Looney Rue. You know what I'm saying? He went in politics right. You know what I'm saying for me. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of young youth they get hurt behind this shit. A lot of niggas die behind that. I've seen Bloods and Crips come together, right? I've seen two hoods that shot at each other. You know what I'm saying? Click up. I've seen niggas that shot at each other from the time they was young. You know what I'm saying? Come to a common ground and be cool. And I've also seen a lot of niggas get hurt behind rumors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that right there, man, um, it's not smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not smooth. You know what I'm saying? And uh, another thing that I can say, because I noticed, are you Hispanic? Because I'm Latino.
No,
My
I'm
mom
from
is black.
Russia. I was born in Russia and I grew up in Brooklyn my whole life.
Oh, Brooklyn. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, another thing that is like, okay, when they come to your show, which this is a cool page, right? Um, a lot of the African Americans, right, as far as like like when they represent that gangsterism, right? A lot of them don't realize how stupid they be looking on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like they get on here, and I respect how you came on, how you said it before we got on. You like, okay, you don't have to answer this or that. So with that being said, it's a lot of shit you don't have to answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm 40, right? So these niggas be damn near my age, all right, roughly around the same age. These niggas that get on here and smut they homies. All right, start saying names. You know what I'm saying? I touch this topic, but I didn't put no homies involved, and I'm
A lot
definitely
of
not.
times it's because if a person goes into prison at 19, let's say, and they come out at 40, you're still 19 in your mind because it's like time stops. So a lot of people, they get smarter because they're in there reading books, they're in school, very educated, but they're still the mentality of a child, the age
Right,
they went in. So that I think that has a lot to do with it.
right. So I can only imagine when you get on here and you be watching some of these dudes, because I be seeing your face sometime, and they be on
Oh
here
no,
trying
I'm
to.
Russian. We always got this is like our regular phase.
Yeah, okay. Because I
I
be
be
looking.
this. I normally I'm always laughing. I'm like I'm always looking happy. But I can't look smile while somebody's telling me like their worst situation in prison. So I'd be like a lot of times
Right,
just because I don't want to crack a smile because ain't shit funny. So
right. Okay, yeah, because I mean, me myself, I be looking, I'll be like, damn, what would make him say that? Or why would he speak on that topic in particular? You know what I'm saying? Because you still representing, you know what I'm saying, your section. So a lot of these cats that they get on here and they'll be smutting their homies, like this is still your turf. So so
yeah,
so so you got to be very delicate on what you say and how you say shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is still your hood and you still represent something. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so I'm like, a lot of these niggas, man, like, what would make them do that? Like, they get on here and self-incriminate themselves, say some outlandish shit. So, a lot of it be kind of like, I be baffled by a lot of this shit. Some of these dudes be saying on here. Um, I want
I don't even
to,
know because I tell everybody the same thing. You don't have to answer anything. It is live, so I prepare people for that. But it's like a lot of times it's like people forget that it's live, but it's definitely you could see right there it says live. So it's I don't know.
yeah,
I could
yeah,
be
yeah,
surprised by certain things, but it's not my place to judge them. My place is just to listen and give them the platform to speak on. And you choose what you want to talk about. So
right. And so it's to me, like, I'm basically sending a message like a lot of the younger youth, boom, they get on here, right, boom, they show pistols and shit, boom, all right, you showing pistols, you going live and shit like that. So it's a difference in between, like when you being targeted,
yeah,
so just for the younger youth, right? So when you on Instagram, boom, you got all the YGs in the background, it's pistols, y'all chunking shit up, right then and there, that was his grounds, you know what I'm saying, for a indictment. You know what I'm saying? So my
yeah,
thing is, I don't have shit on my page like holding a gang of pistols and shit like that. You definitely don't want to look like you the main guy. You see what I'm saying? And they all behind you. Even if that's not the perception, you don't want to get that kind of perception, right? Um, because once you go through something like with a court case, right, and then you try to tell a judge, um, I'm not this kind of person, right? Or I'm not this individual. It's hard to do that because what they gonna do is they gonna run back that Instagram, right? They gonna run back. It's gonna have all those pistols and shit in the background and shit like that. And at that point, it's gonna be very hard to say you're not this individual. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I had to tell my son, he 19. I had to tell him the same shit. I'm like, son, why you got all these guns and shit on here? You know, what is the reason for this, right? Because if let's just say you get into a situation, whatever you promoting, eventually you're going to do or going to try to do. You know what I'm saying? So once you get in that position and you try to tell a judge, hey, I'm not really this person. You know what I'm saying? This is just something that I did. They're gonna hit that grandma and be like, well, this don't say this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, that don't say this and this don't say that. So, you know, it's more you know what I'm saying, the younger youth, they definitely shouldn't be self-incriminating themselves too much on here. Um,
I think when you're
again,
young, you see your older cousins, they got put on the hood, they got the money, the cars, the bitches. I think women have a big factor when it comes to that. I always say women destroyed this generation because a lot of times it's like women will literally look at somebody that's in the hood shooting people and they'll go, "Ooh, I want him." And the guy that's going to college, like, doing the right things, women will shit on you and be like, "Ah, he's boring." So it's like women kind of they have a lot to do with that because even like not letting y'all show your emotions. Like you want him to crash out and go shoot up everybody and then you like him, so
you
women
know,
also need to take some accountability when it comes to that.
no, that's a great point. You know, it's the thing. Women love niggas that crash out. As soon as we get like 10 years or something, right? They be like, he put himself in that position. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
like, no, bitch, I did that for you. I was trying to make you happy.
You know what I'm saying? I thought this is what you wanted, right? So
Yeah,
then once you get what you want, right, and you get a real one that's out there busting on shit, soon as you stretch, they definitely not gonna be with you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They gonna tap out within that first probably 6 months, 7 months. They through with that, right?
yeah.
And they moving on to the next. You know what I'm saying?
And
Um,
then they end up leaving you for another jail dude that probably got even more time. That's what's
right,
crazy.
right. You know, so you know what gets me is I think music I think has a lot to do with the state of mind of the women now. Like if you ever paid attention to oldies, they talk about like loving your woman and are you listening to the old R&B? It'll be speaking on like loving your man or certain situations they going through and
Oh, and now
you
it's
know
like fuck these bitches. Fuck.
yeah. Yeah, all the rappers, I'm breaking these niggas, I'm getting these hoes, right? So now, right? Music has a lot to do with the state of mind of the women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them do. So you'll get a lot of women, right? This would be fair for me to say, right? If you a woman, right, and you got I don't know a condo, you got a Benz, and let's just say I don't know you got a Honda or some shit, right? And you're saying, look, I want a man that at least has his own place or a vehicle, right? At that point, you have the right to have that kind of standard because you're requesting for what you have. You see what I'm saying? You have to have half of what you're requesting out of somebody, right? So if you say I want a man that got 6 figures, right? You better damn near have at least close to that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women that they feel like they don't walk the track that they not hoes, right? So the thing is it's a difference between a trick and a gentleman. A gentleman is gonna say, hey, look, check this out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going here. I'm going to the mall. Would you like something? I'm gonna take you out to eat, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's a gentleman. So a lot of these women, right? They'll be with a gentleman and they'll bounce on the phone and be like, girl, this nigga a trick. He just bought me this and that. Hold the fuck up. No, I'm a gentleman. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A,
They'd
a,
rather go
a
be with a
trick.
man that puts hands on them and never does shit. And not only that, B's like, yo, on your way here, pick up some food.
Yeah. Like a trick. He knows he's accepted the setting that he's going into. Okay, boom, man. The wife is asleep or the wife is gone. You know what I'm saying? I got about $1,000. Everybody got a trick budget, right? So a lot of these hoes they thinking like they really milking these niggas, and some do, right? But a lot of them they know how much they spending. So you can ride down Fig. Say a nigga go down Fig. He got a band, right? He gonna run through a couple of hoes. He gonna say, okay, I got 1,000. I'm gonna pick her up for $100. She gonna let me do everything, right? She look a little bit better. I got about 150 for her. You know what I'm saying? By the time he done with that 1,000, he done probably ran through damn near 10. You know
And
what I'm
that's how you
saying?
know if you're getting cheated on. And as
Yeah,
sad as it is, I don't care about money, but I know other people care. So, depending on how much a man spends on you, it shows how much he cares about you. Because a lot of men will tell me if a man loves something, he's going to take care of it. So,
yeah,
if a man loves you, he's not even thinking about, well, how much you got to spend here, there. It's like he's giving you everything he has. Like, That's the
Yeah,
only real way to know if a man's really investing in you.
you know that too, but it to me
The problem
mainly,
is some women take advantage and will make you
right,
feel like an idiot for doing it versus grateful. Like, wow, thank you. You really didn't have to. They think like
right,
you
right.
have to. And it's like, he don't got to do shit.
Well, to me, mainly, it like okay, like you want to learn how to be attentive to emotions. Meaning, okay, let's just say, for example, say like if you're dealing with a woman and she say, you should be home at 11 o'clock. Now you coming home at 12:30. I'm saying, people can feel when it's something off, right? And let's just say you be like, oh, baby, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm just out with the homies. I ain't doing shit. Stop tripping. All right, right then and there, right? You're not necessarily being attentive to her thought process. You just said some shit to like kind of bypass it, right? So with women, I don't give a fuck what women they are. The source is the phone, right? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them be like, is if you're not attentive enough, that wasn't even you're not even giving a solid response to even soothe my mind. So what happens is when you're not attentive to a woman's thought process, all right, then they get curious. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Men get curious. So boom, they'll just kind of scan through and see what it is because it's like I can't pinpoint your actions, your responses, you know what I'm saying, they ain't really soothing me. You know what I'm saying? So let me go and tap in. You know what I'm saying? So for example, say if he was like, shit, baby, I just got off work. You know what I'm saying? I've been cutting down here to this bar over here. I've been having a couple drinks with my homie. If you want to pull up, you can pull up. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here at this location, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hollering at my homies. That feels a lot more soothing than you just saying, "Oh, baby, you tripping? You don't know what the fuck you talking about." You know what I'm saying? Because right then and there, you don't know how to be attentive. So to a woman, you can have a gang of money. Once they feel like they being played with, all that shit damn near go out the door. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to be respected. Nobody wants to be played with. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Shout out to the homies. Um, King Peel, that's my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout
Uh,
out King Phil.
yeah, King Peel, that's a real one. Um, all right, King
How did you
Peel. I
meet
remember.
him? In the hood
Okay,
or in prison?
all right. Let me tell you how I met King Peel. Like I was in a car with Big Toon from 6ix9ine East Coast, Big Riddler, and I think it was a couple few other niggas from 6ix9ine East Coast. So they like, where you from, blood? I'm like, no, well, they say cuz, of course. I'm like, well, I'm from Pomona 45 Bitch Pyro. So they like, it's a nigga over here in my hood right now. So King Peel dad is a G from over there, right? So they pull up on his pops. When we pull up at his pop spot, blood come out. Boom, he come out, he walk out. So I'm like, because I heard of him, but I never met him. So bam, I bounce out the truck. I'm like, what's up, blood, what that 4-5 bitch like? Boom, he said the same thing as well, right? But it was weird because we're in a Crip neighborhood. He bounced out his dad's house, I bounced out a truck with a gang of Crips. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we met. From that point on, right, I start seeing him in the section. So it would be King Peel, right? Which is Buddha Roof from the hood, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be King Peel, that's his hood name. So it'll be King Peel, Set Trip, and me. You know what I'm saying? King Peel, back then, he used to be on his ism. You know what I'm saying? He always had money. You know what I'm saying? He always had some toes, which meaning a few hoes. You know what I'm saying? Me as well. Set Trip, you know what I'm saying? So it was like he was a nigga that I fuck with on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? We'd be all out in Vegas getting weeklies, shit like that. To hopping out pressing on shit. That's a solid homie. You know what I'm saying? No, yeah, that's Big Looney Boo
Hey,
right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the homie. That's the big homie right there. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out 4 of them. So, you know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a solid homie. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how me and him met. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's solid. So all these accusations, I've never heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? I never heard of him like fucking with no trainees. He ain't even on that. He ain't even on that kind of time.
that's
You know what
not
I'm
even the
saying? Uh,
transformer. They're trying to make it seem like something else. It's literally a female who, I mean, yes, is a lesbian, dresses like a guy, but at the end of the day, she still has a pussy. She don't got a dick. So, but to me, that's a woman. I don't know. And people are making it seem like it was a man with a dick, and it's like the dress. You know what I mean? People are always going to try to make someone look crazy when he's
yeah.
going viral. So.
Yeah, no, my nigga always traveled. He always been about music. He always had different cars and shit. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? He a money man. He about his money and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? For sure. You know what I'm saying? Big Looney Roo that hopped on. He a legend. You know what I'm saying? Big legend. You know what I'm saying? My relative too. You know,
Is he
well
currently
known.
in
You know what
prison
I'm
or
saying?
is he out?
Oh no, he out. He out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? He out. You
For
know,
sure.
that's shit under Mr. Looney Roo One. That's yeah. That's my big relative as well. You know, and then like another thing, like when it comes to that, right? Like he wasn't just somebody like as far as my big homie go, like to where I was like, oh damn, I like him. Let me be his little homie. No, like that's my relative, and I grew up. He been in my life since I've been a little ass boy. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't somebody that like I was just like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? He cool. Let me be his little homie. No, like I actually know him. I grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it was different. You know what I'm saying when it came to that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? And shouts out to Peel. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Big Tony Rue. Shouts out to Big Doug. You know what I'm saying? Big Bagsby. You know what I'm saying? Big Droop. You know. Shouts out to all the YGs for sure. You know what I'm saying? 4IP Gangsta Bug. You know what I'm saying? For the ones who didn't meet him, you know what I'm saying? It was a blessing to meet him. Um, but you know,
Shout
man,
out to the big homie. What's some of the
yeah.
best lessons you got from him, you think?
Um, the lessons I got from Lonely Wood. Well, first of all, like, um, I can say this. You know, learn more so learning how to like really feel a person out energy wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of people say I know body language, right? But then there's an energy that comes with body language. So when you start learning energy, right? You can see, you can foresee way faster than a person that knows body language. Because a person that knows body language, it'll damn near happen to him before he realized. A person
Yeah.
that understands energy, they'll definitely be able to like foresee things, you know what I'm saying, ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when I became his young homie, I brought myself to the turf, right? But I always obviously kept him in mind. You know what I'm saying? So when I came to the turf, um, niggas used to say shit. They used to talk behind his back a lot. You know what I'm saying? And say this and say that. You know what I'm saying? And I told myself, I said, if y'all say some of this shit to his face, I'll change my name. You know. So once he pulled up in the hood one day. He hopped out. He had a green Suburban. You know what I'm saying? My big homie, he was on his ism too. You know, from on the green eyes. So boom, he pulled up at the park. Right. As soon as he pulled up, all these niggas that just got finished talking about him for the turf, they ran up on his car like, "Oh, what's up? I love you." I was stuck. I was appalled. I was like, "What the fuck?" You know, um, because I just got finished listening to these niggas smutty. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it taught me a lot about like half-ass love. You know what I'm saying? And it gave me a complex with certain homies because I'm like, well, damn. I just heard you talking about him, or I just heard you saying this, or I just heard you saying that. So it made me a lot more cautious of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what I learned, to be a lot more observant, to pay attention to body language a lot more. You know what I'm saying? What made me even want to do this was I grew up. My mom raised me. You know what I'm saying? So my mom raised me, and when I was younger, you know what I'm saying, me and my mom, we had a conflict of interest when I was young. Not to get too detailed, and so basically, like, you know what I'm saying, I grew up around my mom, so I was raised by her. So um, we get into it when I'm like 18, 19 years old. I get put out. All right. So when I get put out, I start roaming the streets. So boom, I'm roaming the streets and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for, because I grew up in a big house, in a big family setting. Grandmas, cousins, it's like 14 of us in a 5-bedroom house. You know what I'm saying? So when I was out there in the streets, right? I was looking for that family setting. You know what I'm saying? So when I came to a section, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This ain't too bad. You know what I'm saying? I got homies, I got homeboys. You know what I'm saying? I can come to this certain section. You know what I'm saying? And get love. You know what I'm saying? Get the love that I was missing. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
hadn't I hadn't been around my immediate family in a few years at the time, maybe like 3.5 years. So my hood became my family, you know what I'm saying, at that time frame, you know what I'm saying? So coming here, it wasn't like damn nigga, let me come here and start shooting at niggas and shit like that. That wasn't my intent. My intent was to have like a setting. You know what I'm saying? So like um, coming up in the turf, I never told myself like I never had like an evil spirit to where it's like boom, I'm gonna get up and I'm finna go and kill some rips. I never thought like that. You know what I'm saying? I always like, okay, bam, nigga. I know the lifestyle that I chose, right? I know what come with this shit, so I know what I might have to do. You know what I'm saying? So based on the choices that I made, I was prepared for the side effects of it. You know what I'm saying? I never woke up and was like, damn, I'm gonna hurt this person. I'm gonna do this to this person. You know what I'm saying? Never. You know what I'm saying? I never had an evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? I just knew what came with
Yeah.
the choices that I chose. You know, but before I end this, you know what I'm saying, live though, man, again, you know what I'm saying, the message, you know what I'm saying, the whole moral of this live, and I really appreciate you for letting me come on here and do this, um, was, you know what I'm saying, y'all got to know the difference in between smut allegations and solid facts, you know what I'm saying? Homies should not get on here and smut homies behind allegations, right? Um, Homies should not repeat smut, like, because you got to understand, like, if more than 20 people repeat a lie, it can become the truth. So a lot of times it's not
Yeah.
about the truth of the lie, it's about how many people start repeating some shit. You know what I'm saying? You see how a lot of shit get repeated about Pill. So then you got niggas that don't even know him out here talking like they know. They'll be arguing with him. They
Exactly.
don't even fucking know this dude. You see what I'm saying? So
And nowadays, especially with the internet, it's a lot of times it'd be over a cloud, not even no nothing serious. It just be like even GB from the Who's Who's. He just did a live where he basically was shitting on Jay Hood after they were friends, and you knew he was on the
right,
SNY yard the whole time. Now all of a sudden that he's not online anymore because he's in the county because he's about to go home. Now you want to
right,
put out that he's a snitch. How is he a snitch? He wasn't a snitch where he was beneficial to you and you could have went live with
bingo,
him and you could use him. But
right,
it's like,
right,
bro, but then again, look who we're talking about. This is a loser who was sucking Brace's dick to get on the Who's Who's, and now he had to make his own channel because nobody wants you, bro. Nobody's watching you. You're
right.
out of all the men I've interviewed, I'm sorry to say this, but that's the only one. When I look in your eyes, I could tell if a man is gay. That's the only man I feel like is gay deep down. And
Yeah,
he
you
has
can
so
look at it,
much
man.
debt. It's like, how do you even talk about a man who's a snitch when you're in debt in prison and Brace had to fight all your battles? Now who's gonna fight your battles? Because you can't fight.
Yeah,
So
right,
that's an
right, right.
example.
Right. A big one. Damn, you hit
Because
that
J
right on the
Hood,
nose.
listen, J Hood's a good person. I don't know
Yeah,
about who's a snitch, who's not. I just know that he's a good person, and when he was on the internet every day, they were sucking his dick. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. No, that's facts. That's facts. But you know what? Like, I'm gonna say this, and this is just what I believe. Like, um, I think as African American hoods coming on on this, right? I think that a lot of them need to pay attention to how they represent the culture in their hood. You know what I'm saying? When I watch yours and I see a lot of people that come on here, um, I think a lot of them speak about certain shit that they shouldn't, a little too
So give me an
much.
example. Who's somebody that came on and said something they shouldn't have?
Um, I don't know the dude from Hoover. You know what I'm saying? The dude that you just interviewed, the one that he got on there and he was like, yeah, I'll be doing bad shit to bitches. You know what I'm saying? I done tie bitches up.
Oh, I, di-
I think,
I
you
thought
know,
he was from the jungles. I'm very confused when they said he was from Hoover. ATM Richie.
yeah, I mean, he yeah. I mean, if
I'm
you
about
you
to
hear him a lot,
ask him, where are you
yeah,
from? Because people are gonna
yeah.
keep getting this mixed up. Okay, where is he?
When
ATM
you when
Richie.
you
You're,
you when
bro,
you
let me ask you a question. Are you from Hoover? Because people keep saying that, but I thought you was from BPS. I'm pretty sure he's from BPS. I've never heard him say he's from Hoover.
okay.
He from the jungles. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. No, so
Okay. My excuse me then. My bad on that. Yeah,
no,
I
because it's
think
not your fault. A lot of people were saying
yeah.
he's from Hoover, but he's not.
Okay, well, yeah, well, it's okay when it come to homies. I don't necessarily like again. I won't talk bad about homies, but I think again, I heard him say some shit, and he was like, "I'll be beating homies. I mean, I'll be beating hoes. I'll be doing this. I was listening to him, and I was like, damn, why the fuck would he say that? You know what I'm saying?
To go
Again,
viral.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's like you really incriminating yourself too, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, a homie just hit me up about the P4K situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, when it comes to, and I'm not, I know this is a touchy topic, but like when it comes to these young hoes, right? Like when they down, right? You got to understand the streets really don't love you, right? So if you go out there at a young age, right, you can't expect for the streets to have empathy because you young. You bounced out there with the sharks, right?
Right.
So you gonna get the side effect of that. Now I'm not excusing the fact that she's a little girl or they little girls. I'm aware of that, you know. Um, and my mom would always say this saying to me, parents don't come with instruction books, right? So it's not easy being a parent, right?
No.
So I wasn't the way I was in front of my mom wasn't the way I was in front of my friends, right? So the thing is a child can deceive you. You know what I'm saying? But when you're attentive to your child, it's certain things that you should be able to catch ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? My mom was very attentive, you know what I'm saying? So like my daughter, she 19. So when she was living with me, right? The person she was in front of me and the person she was around her friend was totally different. I hacked in her Instagram, right? So when I hacked in her Instagram, because I wanted to know who she was when she wasn't around dad, right? And the shit that I seen in her Instagram, my God, you know what I'm saying? You know,
How old
my
was
daughter,
she? At 19, you said, right?
she's 19 now, but like she got started sexually at like 13, 14, right? And I wasn't aware of this.
What age did you get started sexually? It's
So
like you got to ask yourself, probably even younger.
right, but the thing was, my mom had no knowledge at the time, though. You see what I'm saying? So the point that I'm making is you could be this person in front of your mom, right, and you could be this person when you're not around your parents, but when you're attentive, right? Because I was attentive, I was able to catch because I'm paying attention, right? She'd be in her room talking, and I'll just be quiet. I'll be in there smoking. I'll just be listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of what is she talking about? Like, you know? So I hear like, she'd be in there, boy, shut the fuck up. Whoopty wow wow wow. All right, you already arguing with young men, so I'm playing this, and I'll just be listening. I won't say shit. She'll come out, hey dad, hey, what's happening? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Everything good? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Who you arguing with? You know? Oh man, I was just arguing with my friends and why everybody mad at you? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Ryan? You seem to have a fair amount of enemies at your age. What's going on? Why everybody think you trying to get that friend or I'm listening to you. I'll just ask her, you know what I'm saying? Just little shit. Are you arguing on Instagram or on Facebook? I'm arguing with him on Instagram. Okay, boom, and I'll leave that in my archive, and I'll just listen. So one day my daughter, she left her phone, her Instagram on the counter, and it didn't close right away. So it was open. She was in the shower. Bam, I went right in it. I went right in it, changed her Gmail and shit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to tap in. So I tapped in. When I tapped in, like it was little boys like, you still gonna meet me by the dumpster? You still gonna stay the night at your friend's house and then come over to my house? I'm like, what the fuck? You know? Like I had no knowledge. I had to tap in. You know what I
Wait, but
mean?
did you confront her or did you not say nothing?
Well, you know what? It was a way I did it. It was I sat down and I talked to her. I didn't talk at her. I just sat her down and I said, listen, because the mom is Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? My mom is black and Hispanic. My dad is Dominican. So I'm like, okay, look, check this out. This is what we gonna do. I'm like, what kind of perception do you want to have for yourself? And I said that I was talking to her because when her mom gave her to me, her mom doesn't know co-parent well, meaning we should have been able to sit down and we should have been able to talk and say, hey, listen, this is what your daughter doing right now. This is what
Yeah.
I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if we would have sat down and we would have co-parent and we would have got to chop it up a bit, then I would have been more in tune with this. You know what I'm saying? Because when she got on her mama nerve, her mom was like, let me give her the pops. So it was a lot that I didn't know. I had to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So I said, listen, what have you been through? So then it got deeper than that. So she had been through some things and her mom wasn't cautious of the company that she kept around her. So my daughter experienced things with grown men, what I'm saying, that I didn't have no knowledge of at the time and so on and so forth. So it made me understand why her sex drive was the way it was based on some of the situations she'd been through as a young lady, right?
Yeah.
So I had to ask her, like, did you say anything about it? You know what I'm saying? Did you say anything? Um, and she said the reason why she didn't say anything about it was because when she did speak on it, right, her mom still dealt with that individual. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
and and it was true. So my daughter had went through some stuff, and so I asked her like, why did it take you so long to say something? She says, because it started feeling good, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm rapping with her. So instead of
A lot
I
of
had to
times women
realize,
can't even process that type of thing till years later. Because in the moment,
right,
if
right,
you allow yourself to understand what's going on, you're gonna go have a mental breakdown. So some people, and I
right,
do this too, I act like it didn't happen, and I just act like I literally act like it never happened, and I just keep it moving. And only years later, you're gonna really one day sit down and go, "Yo," and that's when it's gonna hit you when when she's like 25 or something.
right. So it made me realize because I wanted to have an understanding more so saying, oh, listen, you fast ass girl, whoopie whoop, you know. So I sat down and I got more in tune. You know what I'm saying? And I got more of an understanding of why it was like this versus just getting on her. You know what I'm saying? So she was able to open up to me in a lot of different ways, and we was able to handle the situation a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about it like, damn, how do I approach the situation? You know what I'm saying? So now that my daughter is 19, right? The kind of pictures that she was taking on Instagram was like she was going down that angle of like you know like on some 304 shit is the way I was perceiving it just based on her pictures. But now that like I caught it, and you know, and I would talk to her a lot. It didn't go that angle. You know what I'm saying? She still like boys a lot, you know, but she working and shit. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing something totally different. You know what I'm saying? But if I wouldn't have caught it per se, it was very possible. You know what I'm saying? That she would go down that angle, right? So then people would ask me like, okay, boom, you came from that lifestyle. What if your daughter came from that lifestyle, right? And I'll be like, okay, boom, I like these questions. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Um, you got what you got what you have like as an adult, like you got like how they be like mom and dad time. It's shit that parents do that they don't want that their kids to obviously know about. All right, and kids do the same thing. So my thing is what I did in my own personal time, I never exposed in front of my children, right? So I wouldn't expect
Yeah.
my children to say, oh, dad, you was this person, so I tried this out. No, because you know what I'm saying? Because I never presented it in front of you. So if I was the type of
Yeah.
person that put it in front of your face, then I would expect for you to use that as a leverage because I wasn't cautious enough to, you know what I'm saying? These are my kids in
It's
front
kind
of
of
me.
like when growing up, my dad used to smoke cigarettes. The day I was born, he quit. And
Right,
because of that, when I turned 17, I remember I started smoking cigarettes, and he was like, "But I've never smoked in front of you." I'm like, "I don't care. You did it when you were my age. You can't stop me from doing it." And a lot of
right,
times it'd be men that, like, even like, let's say not even on some pee shit, just on some like just fucking bitches over left and right. When you have a
right,
daughter, your karma might go there, but it sounds like you're actually talking to her, and that's the most important thing. Because like my
right,
dad never made me feel judged. He would just give me advice, but not like be hounding me to see if I would do it or not. If he'd be more like, you're my daughter. I know you're gonna do the right thing. And at 30 is when I started just telling him everything. Like I don't keep nothing from him. But at this age, you're just working towards that. So as long as she could feel like she can talk to you without feeling judged, then it will be easier for her to do that.
right. Like, so yeah, that's true. So it's with these young females, man. A lot of the times, like, all right, they might have this girl might have a solid setting where it's where she got a mom, family, and shit like that, right? And then she might have a homegirl, right? Um, that's a little bit more advanced. You know what I'm saying? And this one might just be raised by a grandma. This one might have a family setting. This one might grow up in foster care, right? So boom, so you know what I'm saying? She a little bit more street smart due to what she's exposed to, right? So all right, so because this one is a lot more advanced, right? All right, she might be following up behind this one, right? So because she chose not to listen, right, to what her family was saying, and she chose to follow up behind her homegirl, that's a little bit more looser, like to the street shit. All right, she's now grown up and she's became the black sheep to her family, right? Not because they don't love her, it's because you doing shit that they don't really approve of, right? So then you say, damn, my family don't love me. I'm the black sheep now, right? Now you became the black sheep, right? Because they want to allow you to do the shit that you want to do at their house. So yeah, so they're gonna tell you to take that shit out there. You know what I'm saying? So now, right, you doing something totally different than what your family do. Your sister might work at Macy's. You know what I'm saying? Your sister might be going to college. You out here hoeing. You know what I'm saying? Your mom working hard. Hell no, they not gonna want you around that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you choosing to do something totally different than what your family is doing. You might have even been raised like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you become the black sheep because they're not gonna put up with the bullshit that you're doing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so like it'll usually crank like that. You know, but for these young out there, for these minors, right? Like um, I seen one where like it'd be a minor out there on the track, and then and then the grown hoe just start beating her up, slapping her ass all up and shit like that. You know, boom blam. Like I'm like, damn. I guess you can scare them straight. You know what I'm saying? The shit like like a G homie, he'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, one of them should just pull her little young ass to the side and just really, really sit down and chop with her. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like if a lot of them just pulled them to the side and just kind of tapped in and was like, "Little mama, get off these motherfucking streets." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell you where I'm coming from with this. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, they used to getting their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? But when you sit
Yeah.
down and you get more in tune and you chop it up with them like a big 304 to a young 304, and you tell them, man, little baby, get your ass off these streets. You know what I'm saying? What's because they still kids. So, I didn't look at it no different from mine. You know what I'm saying? I had to sit down and chop it up with mine. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So for example, right? Like, because I used to be down and around. You know what I'm saying? So my main thing wouldn't be, all right, boom, let me get out and let me have my grown 304s beat this little young bitch up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell her, man, get your little ass off these motherfucking streets. You know what I'm saying? Go home, do some homework or something. Where's your mama at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like because a lot of them when you talk to them, they'll start crying. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A lot of them when you get more in tune, they'll start crying. You know what I'm saying? So like when it if because they still kids, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you know what I'm saying. Every situation shouldn't be handled like that. Some of them should just really, you know what I'm saying, chop it up with them. A lot of them will probably fuck around and really leave and never come back. You know what I'm saying? Some of them
Yeah.
might not. You know what I mean? But it's fucked up that these niggas is doing this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
You
saying?
know
And
how
it's
people
fucked
go to
up.
prison and speak to other inmates, like someone that's been to prison already, and they need to have like a
Yeah.
whore, like intervention type shit where like an older prostitute who used to prostitute should come and like speak to them and explain to them that it never ends well. Like you're not gonna end up rich and chilling. You're gonna end up on drugs. You're gonna end up homeless. You're gonna have AIDS. Like I'm saying, like they don't even know that. And the sad thing is it's people that don't their parents never even try to talk to them, because I even knew a girl who I tried to like give her advice that she don't need a pimp, and some people they need it, they can't be without it. Like this girl, she told me she had a pimp like 2 months prior, and he like took money from her, like he took the fee and then put her out a week later basically and kept the fee, and she didn't really do anything wrong. But and as I'm trying to explain to her, you don't need a pimp, but um she was the type to where she needed to be told what to do by someone, even a woman, it doesn't matter. Like she was like, should I roll a blunt or take a shower? I'm like, do whatever you want. She's like, no, 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 what do you want me to do? And I'm like,
Okay.
go shower. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna shower. After she showered, it's like everything was she needed permission. And I thought that was like it would take years to get her out of that. And I don't think it's even possible at this point.
I'm gonna give my perspective on it because I come from the game, right? This is how I'm gonna feel about it, and everybody might not agree to this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it is necessary uh 4P. You know what I'm saying? To involve itself with a 304. I'm gonna give an example though. All right. So say like for instance, first of all, you got to think about why you horn in the first place. What are you doing it for in the first place, right? And a lot of them say I'm doing it for their kids. I mean, it might start off that way, right? But after a while, you're doing it for you, right? Because if you're doing it for your kids, the stretch is not going to be that long. It's going to be temporarily, or it's going to be because you in this setting. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got enough money to get out that setting, so let me go ahead and hop on this. Some women don't make that shit an option at all, right? So it doesn't have to be an option for starters, right? That's something more so that you want to do for you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Or again, you know what I'm saying? Like say like if it's been certain situations that like me because I'm actually I come from the game where like one female might lose it all. She might be living in and out rooms. You know what I'm saying? And she might not want to start off like this, but by her being in a certain setting, cars keep pulling up on her and they keep offering her. right? She with her kids, she in and out this room. You know what I'm saying? So she damn near hitting rock bottom with her kids. So some of them be like, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If I turn this, you know what I'm saying? If I just do this, I could make this little play. My kids would be cool. I've seen settings like that to where like females are like, it just due to the situation that they was in, boom, they got involved. You know what I'm saying? All right, boom. So the money coming faster, kids being taken care of, rooms able to be paid for, they're able to get food, boom, bam. But you know what I'm saying? So that relief, that the fact that they is able to get their kids straight for that day, you know what I'm saying, was a relief for them. So I seen that before, right? Um, so then, so those are the ones that'll be like, damn, I don't really want to fucking no pimp. I'm out here for my kids. You know what I'm saying? But it's got to be a time limit to that, right? If you just doing it strictly for that, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, all right, then you lost the vision. Now you just going and you just going and you just going and you just going. You know what I'm saying? So you lost the vision of what you're trying to do it for, But like, all right, so for example, right? So a holders out there hoeing, right? They are they're gonna fuck with a stud, right? Which is okay. I mean, I ain't knocking them. They're either gonna fuck with a trick that they find attractive that wants to pay them, right? Or they gonna have a boyfriend while they home, right? And it's a lot of hoes that want faithful men. You know what I'm saying? You know, blowing my mind. You know what I'm saying? But they really want a good man. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like with those options, right? Right there, right? And then you got a P, right? So the thing is the reason why a P is appropriate for a hoe is because y'all come from the same ground, the same background. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So when you're doing this and he's coming from this background, y'all have a lot in common. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, how a relationship start, a
So
marriage
let's
start. You
be
have
honest, at the end of the day, isn't a pimp just a hoe too?
hell nah. You know what I'm
But
saying?
think of it this way. What is a pimp for? A lot of times, well, what one pimp told me is that it's for, like, nobody wants to be alone. At the end of the night, after fucking 100 men for $2, like, you need someone to hug you,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah,
And you can't
yeah.
do that with a trick. So it's like, technically, you're a boy. Are you, like, technically, that's your boyfriend. Or let's be real about it. If he's taking all your money, so technically, you're getting paid for sex. So now you're paying him for sex because another pimp told me that he only would fuck his hoes when they will bring him a certain amount of money. So technically, you're getting paid to fuck. So you're a hoe too.
Um, no, I mean because it's. I mean the way you broke. I see how you did that. That was deep. You know what I'm saying? How you you know what I'm saying? How you broke that down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. You know, um, you know what? Title to me, titles matter, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is right. The way you title something has a different perception on things. So all right, so they got this person right where it's like the way you broke it down, it kind of had me stuck for a second, right?
Because I'm right. Because at the end of
Right.
the day, that is what it is. It's like, because he's only there playing your boyfriend. And they always say, like, there's different types of pimps. There's the Casanova. Everybody thinks they're the Casanova, but they're not. A lot of them are not. A lot of people are gorilla pimps because everything's by choice, not by force. But in reality, everything's by force because women don't like to come out of pocket. So why would a woman just willingly come out of pocket for you unless you're putting hands on her?
I wouldn't. I would say this. Boom. When I got into them, right? Um, I got into them. First of all, because I really seen the money in it, right? I really
Yeah.
seen the money in it, and I really seen that a lot of these females, because they be thinking they trouble, and they really, a lot of them don't. A lot of them really, really want to do this shit on their own. They're not. A lot of them are not
Because
sad.
my thing is, and let's say if I go suck a dick, why do I have to give you all the money? Maybe, okay, why can't I keep half the money at least? You're not helping me suck half a dick. So it's like, why am I giving you all my money? And at the end of the day, every pimp is still gonna have a main bitch, right? No pimp is marrying a hoe. Unless you're like Star, then you're gonna marry your bitch and then you're gonna give her a child and then leave her after she starts doing math. So it's like, you know,
Um, I'm gonna give it from my perspective. Anything that you do, it comes with rules and regulations, right? So a lot of this shit from the game is these rules have been set in play way before my time. You know what I'm saying? They've been around for a while, right? So the thing is so because you don't have to get involved in the lifestyle, right? Why get involved in the lifestyle and say, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Why the fuck are you even in it then if that's the case? You know what I'm saying? Again, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hear what you're saying, but why get in this lifestyle and ask why? Just don't do it, right? So the thing is so if you know, right, hopping in this lifestyle, right, all right, some ism gonna want to fuck with you, right? You're gonna have to pay some ism, right? Why the fuck would you even put yourself in this setting? right? Because this is what comes with this,
Facts.
right? So
Don't
so
even,
if
as a woman, don't even put
yeah,
yourself in the setting because
yeah,
it's never gonna end well, no matter
right,
what.
right. So
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 that's
so
true.
so if you want to get money, right, just go and post ads, right? You ain't even gotta fuck with no peas. Just post
Yeah,
ads.
I don't
You know what
understand
I'm
why
saying?
they even have them on the blade because a lot of pimps even say that they be putting their bitches on the blade when they're trying to teach them a lesson. But then why are they there every fucking day of the year? How often are you teaching them a lesson every day?
With
Like
me it
what
had
happened ever since Backpage got deleted? It's like
with
now
me with
what?
me.
They're gonna use Instagram
No,
or
with me it wasn't
TikTok.
teaching them a lesson. It was more so like, okay, boom, right. I'm Cash Mac. Boom, I'm some ism. Right, boom. I'm a slaughter around here. I'm a slaughter out here with these other 16s. I'm gonna really exercise my pimping. I'm gonna really see what's happening. Right, so boom. Right, so I might knock her from this individual. Boom, I'm gonna set her down on the same track, nigga. She gonna act like she never even met you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna watch her make all this motherfucking money, right? While you sitting there like, hey, bitch, come choose back up. Hey, you know. So my thing was it was the competitiveness of the situation with me. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Okay, they really out here paying. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Like the news, the media, they'll put it out there like, okay, sex trafficking is right. Is when you take people, right, and you forcefully put them in a certain situation.
Yeah.
Pimping, right, is when everybody has a choice. Sex trafficking is when you get a minor, right? Somebody that's not there mentally all the way, right? And then you put her out there, all right? Taking somebody forcefully, putting them somewhere forcefully, and taking minors to me is sex trafficking. You know what I'm
Which
saying?
I
When you
don't
grow,
understand how they're doing that because if it was me in that situation, which that could never happen, the first thing I would do is literally as soon as I get in the trick's car, I'd be like, call the fucking police. What the fuck? Like, or I'd say, yo, I need to pee. Can you drive to a gas station real quick? As soon as I get in the gas station, I'm going up to hi, call the fucking police. Like, why aren't y'all
yeah,
doing that? Like, it's like, do that.
yeah.
Hello.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. These girls got a lot of opportunity to get the fuck out of here. A lot of them do. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they don't. You know what I'm saying? But again, like when it comes
But okay,
to
fine. So let's say a bitch gives you all her money. What are you doing with it? Because you're okay, you're making sure I have somewhere to stay, which is the motel. And then you're giving me food. It's not like I'm ordering my own food. You're giving me food. But it's like, okay, now you're chilling. What like I'm never gonna see that
well,
money again? Like what's like why am I giving you
I
all
mean,
my money?
okay.
That's the question.
If, well, for starters, it depends on what type of work you got, right? What type of setting? Because you got certain motherfuckers that'll be all right. A P, he might be without a vehicle right at that particular moment, and he might be living out a
Then what
hotel
kind of
room.
then bro, get rid of him. Like there's get
Right,
someone else. Like if you're gonna
right. But
choose a P, choose like Reverend Seymour or some shit. Like
hold tight. A lot of hoes don't be having no cars or no spot either. They'll come with nothing
yeah.
either. So
That's
my thing
crazy.
is
I was just
so
watching. There's a guy on you. I'm not on YouTube. On Instagram. I forgot what his name is because this it's fucked up. He drives around and literally just asks these bitches like, "Hey, how much?" Basically, and like shows their face and asks them a bunch of questions, and then be like, "Okay, I'll come back around if anything. Let me go keep looking." So his whole,
man,
whole point is to just make them look stupid, but they're all charging 120, and the pimps are all telling them you got to have at least 1,000 to come home. So you expect her to fuck 10 men a day every fucking day? Like that's an bro.
I think
What
this.
kind
I
of
think that
pimping is that? That's like that's not even good advice. Like you should be teaching them how to make the most amount of money. A man should be paying you 10,000 just to have a conversation with you. Like a man should just be like the most money a man will spend on you is when you don't have sex with him. So
yeah.
that should
I
be what they're teaching.
I think the track is more so for the experience part of it, right? Because you're not gonna half-ass get
That's the
involved, right?
wrong experience because the
Yeah.
more men you fuck, the more as a woman you deteriorate inside emotionally. You won't even be able to fool anybody after that. Like, because you're already so down bad. Like, the only way to stay that way is to always be that way. Like, from a young mentality. Like, you could be a whore, but you don't have to have sex. You could do it a
Yeah,
different.
well,
You could just have really good conversation.
yeah. A
Because
lot of the
nowadays
times,
everybody's a hoe in one way or another. Even the bitches who have real jobs and don't have an OnlyFans, they still be only fucking a man. If are you
do
gonna
you
pay
think
my rent?
everybody
Are
just
you
don't
gonna
want
bring
to fuck
some
you?
groceries? You're still a hoe too. Everybody's
I
in
seen
sex
no,
work.
I seen a lot of your Instagram pictures. They on right.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't gonna want to talk to you. they gonna want to hear something. You know what I'm saying? For sure, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna want to talk to you, right? So that's a fact. So the thing is when it comes to the blade, right? It's more so to exercise your ism. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, right? Um, when it comes to the blade, like it is money out there, right? It is. You know what I'm saying? Because but it's like I feel like that setting should be like not like it shouldn't be a forever thing. I feel like that should be like temporary, right? And then once she learns a certain amount of knowledge, right? You know what I'm saying, from the game, right? Then I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the setting should be different, the money should be different, the areas that you put her in should be different. You know what I mean? Um, but it's like when you get
But you
involved in
can't
that
start a
game,
woman out on the blade and expect her to become a 10,000 an hour hooker. That's not possible. You have to start her
it,
that
it,
way.
it's no, it's possible. I've seen
No,
it.
it's not.
It
Once
is
you're on
very
the
much.
blade, you're more likely to do drugs. You can't be on the blade every day and not get depressed. You're going to be so down on yourself. A woman has to think she's the shit to be asking for that type of money. And you don't even got to be the baddest bitch in the room. You just got to have that much confidence in yourself. The women that make the most money don't even look better than the bitches on the blade.
Yeah, no, that's true. But a lot of them, if you see them out on figure, if you see them, a lot of them, they don't be ugly. They be really real bad.
Yeah,
It'd be a
as
lot of
fuck.
yeah,
But it's
a
like
lot
you're
of them.
fucking for $120. Get a new
Yeah.
pimp or something.
But those ones in particular, they might kick up the price a bit. You know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying though. It's like, okay, damn, if you this proper, then why are you in this setting? You know what I'm saying? But it'd be a reason why a lot of them in this setting because like if you
They
got a
don't know their
deadline.
own power because they never had nobody tell them their power. Like, bro, if I could speak to half these bitches, I would explain to them. Like, do you understand what you could be doing? 'Cause what are you doing here? But
A lot of them travel. A lot of them travel all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They know what they could be doing and should be doing. Mm, a lot of them just like the blade. A lot of them like the blade. Like some of them like posting ads. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might just do this shit to make 12, 1500. Some of them really go for the gusto. You know what I'm saying? So when they out there, right, it ain't more just the P telling you they gotta envision something too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
they
what's the
don't just
vision in the end? Like, okay, so let's say for 5 years I'm on the blade every fucking day, just what's it called? Kicking
I
my
I
heels and
I,
shit. So
I
5 years
personally
later, okay, hi. So what are we doing? I don't feel like sucking dick anymore. What's up?
all right. So,
What do
so
we
me
do?
me personally, right. So if say like okay, if I meet first of all, it depends on what kind of situation we in prior, right? So if my shit is already together, right, and then I knock something, right, and let's just say I got a house and two cars, right. So I got to pay my mortgage, right. I might have a few kids, and then I got to pay. One car might be paid off, and
That
then I
sounds
got to
like a
pay my
lot of
shit.
you problems. What about me? Like, I'm the one
Well,
sucking
no,
dick here. So,
this is the thing. If a lot of women, they want to choose niggas that have money, right? So the more they got, the more you gotta put into the situation. So no, so once she choose to fuck with a nigga who got a lot on, it's a y'all situation. So he might say, all right, bam, nigga, this is my lifestyle. I got these Benzes, I'm living like this. You need to bring in at least five or better because you want to fuck with a nigga who already got it, right? So if you want to fuck with a nigga that already got it, you gotta understand that his ism is gonna be very expensive. You know what I'm saying? So if you trying to build with somebody like you would with anything else, right? You might be like, all right, well, fuck it. I got this going on. We got this going on. We gonna put our money together. We gonna go from this hotel room to this apartment to this house. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
It, it,
saying
it's
I'm
still
giving you all my money so you have kids, you have a mortgage. Okay, 5 years later, where's my money? Like, did you save any of my money? That's the question.
what you supposed to though. That's the thing.
And
If a
they
nigga is
don't. Can we agree that 95% of the time they don't? 99% of the time.
I mean, I can't speak back on the ism, but I said the percentage is very high. It's very high, but then the offspring of that is this though. A lot of them get involved in the game and they have like at least 10 pips in 1 year, right? So for a seed to grow, it got to stay still. So the thing is you keep bouncing around, you ain't
How are
gonna
you
make no
gonna stand
motherfucking
still
money
if he's
anyway.
beating the shit out of you because you didn't bring $1,000?
It ain't always like that though. That's more like
It ain't
commercialized. Like
always like that, but in general, that's what it is. So it's like,
no, no,
ladies, if you're listening, just go do something else. Like, if you're
nigga,
like
nigga,
just and sell pussy to one man every day. Just go get married.
that's the thing. They don't. I like they don't be wanting to get married. They don't want to get married.
You're better
They
on
don't.
getting married. Just sell pussy to the same man every single day. And I got the joke from It's Biscuit. That's one of my
I
homeboys from
would
New
say, I
York.
would say, I would say this for a 304, right? If you want to get in the game, fuck with a nigga that's knowledgeable. Fuck with a nigga that got a humble spirit, a person that really speak business mind, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, but no, when that's really like,
So
you know,
basically, fuck with the man that knows how to manipulate the best. Because
no, it's not,
wouldn't
it's
you?
not, it's not.
Wouldn't the advice be fuck with someone
You're
who's
not, you're
not
not, you're
selfish,
not,
who's
you're
gonna
not,
make sure you're good at the end?
you're
Fuck with
not,
someone
but
who his other hoes is good. Make
you're not,
look
you're
to
not.
see what his other hoes is doing. Are they good? You know what I mean? That's what I would do.
But when you say that, you're not making them take accountability for their actions. You keep saying manipulate. You don't manipulate a grown woman. A grown woman makes a choice. You gotta change that. They're not being manipulated. When a
No, but
grown
that's
woman,
the thing is like we know when we're being manipulated. The thing is, not everybody knows. Like a lot of
you
women
know,
are very unaware that, or they're dumb, or most of these women were touched as kids. So it's like they kind of
that's
just
your
want
reason.
love out of anyone. So it's like they're kind of willing to do whatever, thinking because you're telling them you love them, but you don't. And it's like they almost want to believe it, knowing that they're being manipulated. Because, bro, it's like I know when I'm being manipulated, and I could choose if I want to allow it to keep continuing or not. Some of these girls, they don't have
Okay,
the
you hit that
confidence
on
to
the
even
money. If
stop
you
it.
know, but like you said, if you know you being manipulated, right?
But
You
I'm
you yourself, you
confident. A
say,
lot of these girls have no confidence. I wasn't touched as a child, so it's like I have certain confidence they don't have because they were violated from a like once you get violated as a child, it's hard, you know? It's like
I think a lot of it is commercial. Like, say, friend, I'm gonna say this, right? How you represent yourself from Instagram to in person, a lot of that shit matters, right?
a
So let's
hundred
do this.
percent.
When I was coming up, right, every girl didn't wear a fishnet. Every girl didn't take pictures like, you know what I'm saying, with panties and bra on. It wasn't like that. Like my sisters don't take pictures like that. They don't
Yeah.
even dress these do shit. They don't dress like that. So a lot of them you can't even tell the motherfucking difference now, right? So then you got to think, what are you really advertising here? All right, because this one you got a regular
Facts.
picture. This picture is a bust down. This picture is bent over from the back. This picture is regular. You might buy 5 pictures of your kids, some more bust downs. All right. So when you looking at this, what kind of perception do you think a motherfucker's giving off in the first place?
That she's a
When you
hoe.
when you dress like this on here, right, and you say I'm not a hoe, right, but you exposing a lot, right?
Oh no,
Okay.
nowadays we're in the generation where everybody's a sex worker in one way or another. It's levels to this shit. One woman might be on the blade, another woman might be on Instagram half naked and posting on OF, but in real life you can never get near me. You know what I mean? So it's like there's levels to hoism. Then there's the bitch who, never did no hoe shit, never had no OnlyFans, but she only fucks if you give her money like towards her rent. That's still
All
hoeing.
right.
So it's like
So
nowadays everybody's a sex worker. It's just about what
so
level you want to take it to.
so somebody scrolled down, right, and they seen your pictures, boom, and it was a very wealthy man, and he said, "Damn, I really like your Instagram. I really like your pictures. I got 10 bands for you. Would you take it or not?"
You think I haven't had that already?
Of course you have, but I'm
A
saying,
million times. I
what was
get
the?
that
I'm
every
sure.
day. I had
I'm
I had
sure.
Scott Storch when I first moved to Miami begging me to buy pussy from me. And I literally was like, bro, like I'm from a good family. Like I don't do that. Like and he literally was on the phone begging me and I'm over here telling my dad, like, bro, he's a fucking weirdo. And
So he weird for doing that. You might have really liked what he seen. I don't think he weird for that. I just think like he was looking and was like, "Shit, I got some money. I'm finna proposition this because I already know I can't just hit her up and say, hey, you're really pretty. Can I get some pussy?' Right? He already know he can't do that. So why? So
yeah.
why not?
No, my thing
Why
is
not?
I don't mind if a man tries. Like any man's gonna try. It's after I say no and you keep trying, now I'm gonna violate you. Cause you not don't ask me twice. Don't repeat yourself. Don't call me the
Right,
next
right,
day. That should be the last time you ever hit me up. That's my
right.
opinion.
Because
But no, I know what I'm
it's
doing
about
by me putting certain pictures out there. I'm inviting that type of energy into my life. So I'm fully aware of that. But at the end of the day, I'm taking accountability for what I do. I know what I'm doing. It's like I'm
do
selling
you do
sex.
you
I'm selling a fantasy. I'm selling, like I said, a fantasy. But at the end of the day, I don't even have sex like that in real life, and that's just how I always been. I've always taken crazy
do you
photos, and I don't know. It's like
are
I'm
you are you are
controlling. So
you
it's like
are
you
you
can't even make mistakes like that.
are you, if you don't mind me asking, are you in a relationship or anything of that sort? Are you in a relationship?
Everybody asks me that. I'm saying if I was in a relationship, I could have been in a relationship that's already going on for 9 years. He just don't have an Instagram.
Okay, so what if he said, all right, baby, look, boom, you know what I'm saying? You're a very beautiful woman. I don't feel comfortable with these pictures, right? Because
Okay, then
they
leave.
attract. You know what I'm saying, wait a minute. So hold on. Just leave.
Yep.
What the fuck? So he wouldn't have the right to say, baby, this attract this kind of crowd. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that type of energy going your way. You know what I'm saying? You my woman, and your response is just leave.
If you're my husband, anything you say, I'm doing. If you tell me to stop being friends with this bitch, all right, goodbye. If you're
But
my man,
you
I'm
gotta
in
be the
love with
you
you.
gotta be the
We're
boyfriend before the husband though. It don't just skip and go straight to
no, but
that's
it
the
doesn't take
problem
you long
there.
to propose. A man knows if you're going to be his wife within the first 6 months of being with you. So you know when you meet the right person, because I wouldn't even entertain it if I didn't feel that way. So if you're the man I plan to spend my life with, anything you say, I'm gonna listen to you like you're my father. If I see myself just being with you for now, fuck out of here, then leave. I don't give a fuck. Goodbye. Like you're for now. You're just a good time. This isn't even supposed to be nothing serious. So no, I'm not gonna listen to a man just because you're my man now. Are you gonna be my man next
All right.
year? Probably not. The fuck? I don't give a fuck
So
what you want. Go tell someone else that.
so some are just a good time, some are temporarily, and then some you just know that's who you gonna be with, right? So the temporarily ones, right, are the ones that's you feel that's not gonna be you with them, but they can request for no
You
change.
can't request shit.
What the fuck? I mean, how does the man know that he only temporarily? He
Because when
might
you
think y'all
ask
really
me for
got something
something, I'm
going.
gonna say no. If I love you, I'm not saying no to nothing.
These niggas, they be okay with that. They be okay with. They
What
be
choice do they
they got.
have? Leave. If you're not okay with that, you can leave. I don't give a fuck if we've been
Oh
together for
hell
10
no.
years. Leave. Because my last relationship, I was in a 10-year relationship. Uh and when he told me to delete my Instagram, I was like, no. And we broke up because of that reason.
I wouldn't. I mean, the Instagram is not the problem. It's type of crowd that you may be attracting. You know what I'm saying? If you this kind of
Oh no, but this
perception,
is before me being on Instagram. Like this is before me being Instagram famous. This is like when I was doing real estate and I was just a normal person.
I mean, no, I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind my woman having an Instagram or shit like that.
No, but it was
I wouldn't.
basically like I had an Instagram and I would just post like cute photos. I never used to post videos. Like when I used to do real estate, I just posted like cute stuff. And then he didn't like that my ex was still following me. And I'm the type like I'm not enemies with my exes. Like we're not gonna be hanging out or talking every day. But my ex, like now he can call me if he needs advice or he needs someone to talk to. Like this is still a person that I was with. You saw me naked. Like we were together. Like we don't have to be enemies. Like for me to be enemies with an ex, like you really are a terrible human being. So it's like I wasn't talking to my ex, but just him following me, he had a problem with, and it's like, bro, that's sad because it's like a man will be literally fucking half the bitches he follows, but not wanting you to have your ex follow you. That's stupid.
No, I agree with that to a certain well, a lot of degree I do. You know, like I like. I mean, it's okay for my woman to be polite. Being too friendly is not is a turn off to me. Like that, like being too motherfucking friendly, because that opens up the doors for certain conversations that are. It'd be a lot of unnecessary conversation. You know, it's okay to be polite. He speak, you speak. Keep it very
Yeah, I'm
short
not
though.
polite. When I'm in
You know what
love,
I'm saying?
I'm very rude. So I think
Yeah,
that's why,
yeah.
like, it's not hard for me to get wifed up, is because anytime I'm with someone, I know what the fuck you're supposed to do. Like, I'm very rude actually to anybody that tries to talk to me. I'm rude to, like, I'm nice to a limit. Like, even to his friend, it's like, I understand those are not my friends, those are your friends. So it's like, I try not to get too close even to them, but, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, no, no. I mean, a lot of it again. It goes back to like so. If I'm say for example, not to keep iterating on this, right? If I'm gonna deal with a woman and I know like she Instagram famous, I know the side effects with like I know what comes with this. So again, it goes back to what we were saying, knowing the situation you get in before you even get involved. So if I'm gonna deal with a woman that's like that, I'm not gonna tell her, hey baby, take the Instagram pictures off. I'm just gonna have to pretty much promote that. You know what I'm saying? Promote
you
it
have
and
to
say,
deal
hey
with
baby,
it.
yeah, you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the type of setting I'm getting myself involved in. Um, So yeah, at the end of the day, man, I appreciate this live. Before I tap off again, man, the whole moral of this live was basically, you know what I'm saying, to the homies, you know what I'm saying, the Keyways, Bloods, Crips, were all over, you know what I'm saying. Y'all, the smut. All right, smut is allegations, you know what I'm saying. You got facts, you got smut, and I think smut is more like a ebonic word for allegations. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to smudge your homies, right? You don't want allegations to be smut. You want something presented. You know what I'm saying? You want facts. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get messy shit and politics twisted. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do
Yeah.
that, right? Because niggas could get hurt behind smut. Niggas could get hurt behind allegations. Have you ever heard a person say, you'll hear him on there, they'll be like, oh, the nigga told he all bad. He all bad. You know what I'm saying? You'll
Yeah.
never hear him say,
Are
it's
we speaking
allegations,
about
but
someone specific right now? Because I keep
no, I'm saying, I'm just saying in general, because a lot of people get hurt behind this shit. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So, generally
Are
speaking,
you speaking
you
on,
know,
let's say, who's? Because he's the one that says these is bad peoples. This man is with a transgender. This man
um,
is you speaking on them?
I think with Braves, I think he's speaking from, like, he didn't did a lot of time. He in prison, so he speak from that perspective. Like, he more like black and white. Like, look, nigga, if it say this and you touch this motherfucker, you cook, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you saying, but if this what it say, it's a rap for you. You know what I mean? Again, like, niggas be hitting me up on a P4K situation. Those kind of situations is delicate because you will have like okay, like, if I feel like this, and this comes from a situation in the game. You know what I'm saying? I had a situation to where I'm games up where, like, I was in my earlier 20s and I'm in Vegas, and she looked every bit of 19 to me. She was like 5'9" thick. She was out there on the track. She told me she was 19. She was actually younger than that, right? So, um, I brought her back with me, right? I just kind of chopped it up with her and I let her sleep. I never like did anything physical as far as sexual with her, and that's what saved me, right? So the shit that she was saying, it didn't feel comfortable to me. So I was like, well, fuck it. Let me just take you back where I met you at. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I go to drop her off. You know what I'm saying? Where I met her at, and as soon as I went to drop her off, I got swarmed by detectives. Right? So I only knew this girl for a day and a half. Right? And I went through this certain situation. What saved me was because she lied about her age, right? And I was telling them she was lying about her age. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have like any sexual contact with her. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where like the Miss Pimpin come into play, because a lot of them get these women, right? And they immediately, you know what I'm saying, start having sex with them. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get to understand her. I wasn't aware, you know what I'm saying, and I was in my 20s, right? And I didn't like have any sexual contact with her. Was the reason why I caught a pandering charge, like where you just basically trying to like coach her into, you know what I'm saying, being on your team, right? So, but if I would have physically touched her, then it would have been something totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and not to say like a lot of these females, a lot of them lie about their age. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them do. Um, when you talk to them enough, right? You should already understand. Like, damn, she young. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me feel uncomfortable, because I was chopping it up with her, and I'm like, damn, this her responses, the way she talking, she looked the part, but her conversation and her state of mind is like a little girl. I don't like the way she talking. Let me drop her off. That's what made me not feel comfortable based on the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is I don't believe that like when a nigga say I couldn't tell she was young. You might not visually just yet, but if you chopping it with her, you'll be able to catch that. You should be able to catch that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these girls, they look hella young. They look like kids. So a lot of it is just, it's no excuse. So but that situation is different. A lot of them lie. A lot of them are not truthful about certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you'll be in this setting, and those will be the charges, right? So then you gotta, you know what I'm saying, fight these cases. So just because these charges are presented, that don't necessarily mean that's what it is, because you fighting these charges. You know what I'm saying? So you'll get a lot of people, because you got these charges, they'll start smutting, and they really don't know the ins and outs to the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when it come to me, I'm like, I don't got nothing negative to say, and he's a homie. I don't have nothing negative to say about the situation until you get the ins and outs to the situation. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like his homies still supporting him. So if they still supporting him, that's obviously for a damn good reason. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter what you are, from Hispanic to a black, they're not your homies are not gonna uplift you, right? If you really doing something like this when it comes to like minors and shit like that. And if they find out you are at that point, then you know what I'm saying, that's when, like, they disown you. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers start talking bad about you, right? So my thing is, until you hear his own homie start saying something negative, is when you can, you know what I'm saying, kind of go off what they saying. But you got all these people speaking ahead of time, right? And they don't really know him. They don't really know the ins and outs to the situation. They don't really know if he really doing this shit, right? And then you got all these motherfuckers smutting him. You know what I'm saying? Early. That again. So if the whole moral of my life is speaking on smut and allegations, why would I turn around and do the same shit? You know what I'm
True.
saying? You know what I mean? So that's the thing. People be like, they'll try to tear a nigga down for clout. They'll try to tear a nigga down for views. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes do that. They get on here, instead of just focusing on them or talking about their music, they'll get on here and they'll make conflict with motherfuckers they don't even know off alive, or they'll
You
go
don't
no
think it's
jump.
selective politicking though, because Lady Duck was feeding the hood allegedly. So it's like, even if it was from minors, like,
Okay, well, look, this is the thing. This is what you can't shake. If she's a minor, and your name is, and you got your name tatted on her, right? And you spending a fair amount of time around this person, you got enough common sense to know that this girl is a minor. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
after so long, so that just means you didn't give a fuck if she was, right. And if that's the case, right, you deserve whatever comes your way. You know what I'm saying? Because you do got knowledge on what the fuck you doing. You know what I'm saying? You got to take accountability for your actions. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can't be like I seen a post and they were like, "Oh, she was a victim of sex trafficking." Okay, so that gives you more of a reason why you shouldn't have done that shit. You know what I'm
Also,
saying?
someone I had a conversation with someone recently, and they basically said there's a P on the blade that's like younger. I think he's what, like, he's 16, and he has a hoe on the blade that's 15. And the thing is, he's a kid himself, so they're kind of allowing it because they're like, what's he supposed to do? Pimp like a 26-year-old, and he's 16, so they're kind of
Yeah.
allowing it. But
Hey,
so
you know what?
even with
I've
him,
never
how
encountered that.
old
That's
is
a
he?
good point.
P4K, isn't he like 20 or something? So he's kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
child still himself. And I think we forget that when they say like, oh, she's a minor. But even Young and Hefe brought something interesting up last night on the new No Jumper Live. He said, when you was 21, to the guys, you wasn't talking to, like, think about it. Back in the days, it was a lot of dudes that was like, you was 16 and you had 21-year-olds coming after you.
yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You made a valid point. Yeah, that's true. Shit, when I was 16, I had like 30-year-old woman, grown ass woman with husband. I was fucking
Yo,
with
a
grown
hundred
ass.
percent. And it's like, even that's fucking crazy because I hear so many stories of like, my friend, he said he lost his virginity at 11 to a 30-year-old. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, you made a valid point. That's true. At the same time though, again, so if you get caught up with that, if you get caught up in that kind of setting, you know what the fuck you doing. You know what I'm saying? You definitely know what you're doing. And yeah, I you know what, I haven't encountered that where I ran into a 16-year-old that was a P that had a 15-year-old hoe. Like, I've never encountered that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it would make sense. I mean, because if a 20-year-old it choose a 16-year-old, then you looking at the other hoe like, what the fuck, like, So yeah, Ned, you made a valid point with that. You know what I'm saying? I can agree with that. Um, okay. Um, well, shit, I got some shit I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
appreciate this platform right here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Yeah, again, thank you very much. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. So it was so nice meeting you. And I love that you told your story. Your perspective is different from a lot of other people. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on.
All right, man. Shouts out to the homies, man. Four of them.
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
comment, subscribe. We will be back. Thank you again.